It's Jerry's world, but the Packers have taken residency, now 6-0 at AT&T Stadium.
Our answers for how and why we didn't do what we wanted tonight. I say this to our fans, how much you deserve us to not have this ending. I certainly in no way have spent any of my time over the last 3 hours asking how and why. What I'm zeroed in on is the fact that I thought we were in a position, everybody in this room thought we were in a position to advance this thing in the playoffs and maybe get as far as our dreams might take us. We didn't do it. I don't have any thoughts about the reasons why or anything to do with the coaching, anything to do about the players. I want to give Green Bay a lot of compliments and credit, and this is one of my most surprises since I've been involved in sport, period. So this is that degree. I know how disappointed everybody is. That's all my comment.
In terms of playoff losses, where does this one rank for you?
Well, I don't have, really, I can't reach back and look at a playoff loss, but this seems like the most painful because we all had such great expectation and we had hope for this team, and thought that we were aligned in great shape, and it didn't happen for us, and it's as fresh on me right now as it is on anybody else. But I won't get into any of the addressing of any aspects of any part of it. From the coaching to the players to what's around the corner. On a personal basis, I'm floored, and so not that there's any world's smallest violin for me being floored. I get that, I understand that, and I know where the responsibility starts and ends, and I've got that real clear, and I know that. But that's not the point. The point is that I'm disappointed for everybody.
When will you sit down with Mike and kind of talk about it?
I haven't thought about that.
Your thoughts on how that played tonight?
Again, I haven't thought about it at all. Every step of the way today, I was looking for the end of the game with us being able to go forward and have another game here next week. Everything I looked at today, the plays themselves were almost a blur to me. I was just thinking, how do we get to where we can have another game here next week? And so I haven't given it that type of analysis or look-see or what have you. This one's burned into our soul out here tonight, and Green Bay got a great win.
Jerry, is there any way you can connect the dots between the 13 straight playoff appearances without making it close to the Super Bowl?
As far as connecting dots to this loss, only that this loss prevents us from advancing, which potentially is a Super Bowl. And you have to advance in order to get to a Super Bowl. The experience I had going to them
is this the most shocking?
Taught me that.
Is this the most shocking performance that you can remember?
No, I don't want to rank it, but I will tell you that I'm full.
Jerry,
it's beyond my comprehension.
Jerry, are you concerned at all that your comments last week in Washington may have been a distraction for Mike McCarthy?
That what?
That your comments last week in Washington may have been a distraction for Mike McCarthy?
No. No, not at all.
For people and the fans specifically who might want to have questions about the head coaching direction, whether it's Mike McCarthy or moving forward, do you find it's important to give yourself time, or do you think that you'll be making a decision sooner rather than later?
When I think about it, which I haven't thought 1 second about it, I know how hard, how much it meant to our fans to advance. What this loss to me means, again, I opened up by saying not how, why, who didn't do what, all of that kind of thing. The only thing that was on my mind almost this entire game was not an analysis of our strategy, not an analysis of the play. It was, do we get to play here again next week? And we can't. And that could have happened by a point, or it could have happened the way it happened out there. And that's all I'm thinking about, and that's all I've thought about. And it is real, and we'll dismiss our group, our team tomorrow. That's as real as it gets, as opposed to going forward.
It's becoming almost an annual tradition, cryptic statements from the owner moments after the season ends. That's sort of the way things have gone for the Cowboys as they build another contender only to fall short in their first postseason opportunity. Our award-winning team with the NFL on CBS has us covered in every building. Melanie Collins offering thoughts on the tail end of a lopsided one in Dallas. And Melanie, it's a story, unfortunately, for Cowboys fans that they have seen time and again. Can you take us inside of that building, specific to the first half, the angst that built as this thing got out of hand?
Yeah, Joe, I don't know how else you could describe this one other than a stunner. It just really never felt like the Cowboys were in this game. Green Bay came out and won the toss. They elected to receive, and they went into attack mode from the jump. And it wasn't just the Packers' offense that seemed to dominate in the first half. Their defense came out to play. They had 2 picks, took 1 to the house. It felt like they kept Dak off of his mark all day, and just stunning going into the half. They were down 20 points, and then fans actually started to leave in the third quarter when the Cowboys went down by 4 touchdowns. Just a stunned Dallas Cowboys fan base here in Arlington, Texas.
Well, on the other side of this one, well documented, the youth movement of Green Bay, sort of really nothing to lose coming into this moment after they get in with the win in Week 18 over the Chicago Bears. As you watched Jordan Love do what he did over this 60 minutes of football, I'm not sure first-year quarterback is the thing that came to mind. How did you observe him really come to age over these 60 minutes?
Yeah, that was an incredible performance from Jordan Love. So poised, so confident, and really this entire team, the youngest team in the NFL. I spoke with Luke Musgraves post-game. I just couldn't believe the poise that we saw out of this team, and they really from the jump just attacked in this game. They got the run game going with Aaron Jones. He had 3 touchdowns in this one. It opened up play action where Jordan Love was able to take some big shots downfield and hit on some explosive plays. All I could describe today out of this Packers team was a steady confidence. I'm so impressed with what Jordan Love did today.
Well, they will have that confidence once again tested. We have our matchup for the divisional round. The top-seeded 49ers set to take on those Packers following this win. Momentum on the side of the Green Bay Packers, but the 49ers fully rested. As you sort of look at that matchup to come and what we know of that matchup in the years behind us, is this still a team in Green Bay that can play with that reckless abandon, in your opinion, or do the stakes now heighten and you think we see a different type of Green Bay Packer team in Santa Clara?
No, I think especially after this performance today against the Cowboys, it feels like the Green Bay Packers can hang with just about anybody, and I believe that they feel that way too. I spoke with Luke Musgrave post-game, and he told me, look, we're not even thinking about that game just yet. We're going to enjoy this win before we look at the tape. But gosh, I think that's going to be an incredible matchup. Offensive fireworks on both sides. You've got Matt LaFleur going up against Kyle Shanahan. I cannot wait for that game. I think we're going to see a ton of offense, and you just never know what a team's going to look like after a week of rest. So who knows? Green Bay could go up against the Niners, after a week of sitting, and you just never know what could happen. But I think we're going to have another great game in the divisional round next week.
We can hope so. Our friends in the desert have 2 possessions between them already. Melanie Collins bringing us the latest from Jerry's world that now belongs to the Green Bay Packers. Melanie, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, look at some numbers going into that matchup in Santa Clara. 1 seed versus 7. Again, no 7 seed had ever won a playoff game in our current format prior to Sunday afternoon. The Packers, they claim that. Now, can they claim another against the high-flying offense and the bruising defense of the San Francisco 49ers? Lest we forget, 5 first-team All-Pros awarded to those Niners. Another pair of second-teamers. All that talent going to be put to the test by the youth of Green Bay. More coming on CBS Sports HQ. We got full highlights from Dallas. A rout in some ways. Green Bay pulling off an upset. Next.